So let's start recording this lesson. In this recording, what we are going to do now is create a maze game. So in this maze game, we need 4 things. Let me list down the things that we need first, and then we will start working on them. So 4 things that you need for this sort of maze game is that first we need is a maze. A maze looks like something like that. A maze would look something like that. So it's up to you that if you want to download these pictures and upload them there, if you want to create a maze of your own, we can do both of the things. Let me show you how to download a picture and make it appear on the screen. First, let's say that I save this image as um, I need to see where do I save it. I would save it in downloads and save it as maze. So first thing that you need to do is save a maze picture in your computer, and then you can go to the backdrops, choose the backdrop. You do not have to click here. You just need to keep your hover your mouse or bring your mouse onto this picture and click on the first topmost icon which says upload background. Once you click on here, you need to tell where the picture is. So I had downloaded the maze picture here, and this maze picture is going to come on the back of my backdrop. Now this picture is kind of fine, but I can make it a little better by selecting this picture and dragging it to the maximum on all sides first. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do. The next thing that I'm going to do is use this eraser tool and try to erase these arrows out. I don't need these arrows actually. So I'm going to erase all these arrows out. So this was the first thing, that how can you create a maze picture, right? So first was that you can download this picture from the maze. You know how to download it from the maze, but I'm going to show you how can you create a picture of your own case. So let's say that I'm going not going to use it. Instead of, I'm going to create this maze on my own, a new one, and I'm not going to draw it as a background, but I'm going to draw it as the sprite character. So my
Maze is same
maze,
like Blockly game.
sorry, maze is same like the.
Blockly game.
It's a little different. This maze is a
Uh,
little different. That
okay.
maze also helps you to find out the path that you have to choose in order to complete a game. In this one, you do not have to write code for your character to move. In this game, you have to write a code for your character so that you can operate it with the keyboard buttons. Like you can ask it to move left, to move right. You are seeing on the screen and you want your character to move on the screen according to uh, your observance, whatever you are observing. So you do not have to write the whole code at once. You are going to play it just like a normal game that you play, in which you press the different button and your character does the different things. So first, let's try to draw a maze now. Now for drawing a maze, what we are going to do is draw it as a sprite. So this comes here which says sprite 2, and I'm going to name it as maze. So drawing a maze is now like very simple. All you have to do is click on this line icon, thicken its outline, maybe 5 to 10 points would be fine. And you can choose your favorite color for the maze boundary. Whichever color you want to use for the maze boundary, you can use that. Now all you have to do is just now all you have to do is now all you have to do is just draw the maze here. So in order to draw the maze, you do not need to have a lot of skills. All you need to do is just draw random lines like that. If you think that this line is kind of a little thin, you can make it more thick as well. And in order to make it thick, you just need to increase this thickness here, and this is going to be made something like that. Ji Baba, it's cat. Okay, so next thing, just keep on drawing these random lines. Just make sure that you leave some empty space for your character. And one more trick is here to follow, for you to follow. When you are trying to write these lines, okay, do not draw your lines like what we call it, without pressing the shift key. If you press the shift key and draw a line, it's going to be a very straight line that you can draw. It's going to be a very straight line that you can draw. Like I am going to leave some space here, move. Just keep on drawing with the nodes and try to press as many times the shift button as you can, and just try to have a clear path wherever you want to end the game. Let's say that is where you want to end the game. So you can draw the ending part first also. Just draw some random lines. Like that. Connect these lines together as much as you can, and you need to use that shift key so that it is pressed every time that you are drawing a line, and try to mark the lines on every boundary wall. So the boundary wall should be completely filled with all the lines that you have. So now you have this maze here. Currently you can see that this maze is a little outside your screen. So in order to get it inside or on regular basis, you can try to put X and Y positions to be 0 and 0, and that would be fine. I can change the X position to 5 or 10 or something like that, so that this looks a little more better. So now this maze is ready for us. All we have to do is write 2 marks here. Now there were 4 things that we needed to make. First thing was a maze. We have made that already. The next 2 things are start point and end point. So these are the next 2 things that you need to make. Start point and end point. So the start point is going to be the point where you start this maze. You again are going to paint that, and in order to paint that, what you need to do is use the paint box. Just draw a rectangle, fill it with some color. Make sure that it has a different color than your and in order to remove its outline, what you can do is click here on the snow outline, and it will be something like that. Pick it up. I would suggest that you pick this up using this tool, this selection tool, and put it in the middle like that. Now you can just put it at the start wherever you want to start the game. Similarly, you can duplicate that, mark this as, let's say, start point, and the other one as, write its name to be end. The end point should be in a different color. The end point should be in a different color. In order to make the end point to be different color, what you can do is change its color by using this selection tool first. Click on this picture and just change the color of the ending point. So this is the ending point that you have. Just pick up this ending point and put it here at the end where your game is supposed to end, right? And there is another thing that you can do, but that I will tell you maybe on a later stage. So now you have your maze game complete. There is only one last thing that is missing, and that is moving object, an object that would have to move within this maze. So let's say that we want a character that would move in the stage. We can use this cat sprite if we want. We can reduce its size to something like 30 points, which is suitable for us. I will just check it here. If that looks smaller to you, you can make it to 40 or 35, and that would be fine. Now what we need to do is move this character, do something so that actually we can move this character. So first thing that we need to do is, for this moving character, we need to set the rules. So the rules are going to be something like that. I'm going to write those rules here in the Word document, and then I will start explaining you how these rules would work. The first rule that we need is, the first rule that we need right now is that how this character would move on screen. So let's say that we write the rules here. Press right arrow to move your character to right. I'll copy this, I'll paste this, I'll select this, Control H, change right with left, replace. So press left arrow to move your character to left. Then again, press up arrow to move your character up. And last rule is, what would be the last rule? What is missing now? Which arrow is left? Right, done, left, done, up, done.
Do down arrow to
Yes, press down arrow to move your character down.
backward.
So when you press the down arrow, the character should move down. When you press the up arrow, the character should move up. When you move the right arrow, the character should move right. When you press the left arrow, the character should move left. For that, you need to change two things. Remember that right and left movement right movement, we change. So for right movement, change x by 10, let's say. For left movement, change x by -10. So if you want to move on the right side, you need to change x by 10 or any positive number. If you want to move on the left side, you need to change x by -10 or any negative number. Similarly for up and down movement. If you want to move up, you need to change y, not x. Left and right movement is because of the x value. Up and down movement is because of the y value. Remember this thing within your minds. This is a very important concept. So if you want to move on the right side, you will change x by 10. If you want to move on the left side, you will change x by -10. If you are moving up, you are going to change y by 10. And if you are moving down, what would we do? What are we going to change? X or y? If you want to move down, yes, if we were moving up and we were changing y by 10, if we have to move down now, we would have to change y by -10 or -10. So this would be like that. Now all this code is done. All you need to do is just write this code here for this character that needs to move. We are going to make sure that this character starts moving when flag is clicked, and whenever the flag is clicked, we would want this character to be right here. Just pick your character where you want it to be at the start. Let's say this point, and just pick up this go to xy value. Now you would see that wherever this character goes, if you press the flag button, it comes at the start. Now for movement, for its movements, we need to use a loop. We are going to use this forever loop because we always want to see where we are giving it an instruction to move. Let's say that we want to move on the left side or the right side. We are going to use this if statement to decide where we have to move. And as we have to move in 4 directions, so we would have to use this if statement 4 times. up and down, left and right. So first, let's say that we want to check which key is pressed. So for that, we are going to go to sensing and select this key space press and put it here. Change the space to up arrow first. And let's say that I duplicate this one and use it for right arrow. So this is up and this is right. Let me bring them here so that it's more clear. Now, right would help us to move on left side also, and up would help us to move on down also. So as I told you, if you want to move up, you need to change y by 10. And if you want to move down, you need to change y by minus 10. So now when I will add both of these blocks here, you would see that now when I press the flag button, I can make my cat move down by pressing the down arrow and up by pressing the up arrow. But this cat is moving very fast, is it? It's moving very fast. So how can I make it slow? I can make it slow by changing this value. 10 is a big number. If we change it to a small number, let's say 5, and 5 here as well, 5 and minus 5, now you would see that the cat is not moving that fast. It's moving a little slow, which is better for us. But right now, nothing is happening if I press
But
left
sir,
arrow.
but we don't need to cross the line because we need to go without touching the lines.
Yes, but we have not coded anything. So that is why we are not having any problems right now. But when we have put code for that, we would not be able to cross these lines. So let's say, let's first discuss that how do we move left and how do we move right. So in order to move right, as I told you, we are going to put change x by 5 here. And if you want to move towards left, I will duplicate that simply, change the right arrow to left arrow and ask it to move by change by minus 5. Now I will put both of these blocks again in this forever loop and let's see that how my cat is now moving. It's moving right, it's moving left, it's moving up, it's moving down. It's moving in all the directions that I wanted to move. Fine. Now let's go for the next thing. How do we tell that if we have touched the wall and we have lost this game? How do we tell that we have not touched the wall, we have reached the end mark and we have won this game? So let's say how to win and how to lose. For that, I'm going to use another flag clicked event here. Use this forever loop once again. Use this if block once again. This if block is very important. It gives me an option so that I can take a decision. Like now I can check if my cat has touched the maze. So its name is the maze. Let's say I change it as maze. So if this character touches the maze now, I would know that this character has touched the maze. So I am going to go to sensing. Sensing helps me to see if this character has touched anything, if a character has touched a color, if this character is seeing that cat to be, you can say, what do we call it, is close to a certain object and something like that. So all these things can be done in the sensing portion, but currently we have to check if this cat has touched some other object. So for that, we're going to use this first block, which is touching mouse pointer, and put it in this diamond shape. So now we need to see if this cat has touched the maze. If this cat has touched the maze, we are going to do two things. First, we are going to say you lost. Press flag to start or try again for 2 seconds, and then obviously go to controls and use the stop all to stop everything. Now, if this cat touches the maze, this is going to happen. And duplicate that, let's say. If this cat touches the end, something else is going to happen. We are going to say, you won. you can play again by clicking flag. And with this, all your game code is going to be complete. Remember that you do not have to put this if block inside another if block. You have to put it outside the other if block, but inside the forever loop. Now we are going to go to these maze and just put this event when flag clicked and use this go to random position, not random position, actually go to this position XY and done. And for the start, we are again going to use the same code. Go to XY and when flag clicked, make this objects here. And for the end also, just select this when flag clicked and attach this go to block here. Now, doesn't matter that if by accident you touched another object and moved it somewhere. Now that would not matter. Every time you're going to press the flag button, they are all going to come in their position. Just need to make sure that this cat is at the top, right? So now you can start playing this game. It says you lost the game and now you have to stop it. And if you want to run again, you need to click on this flag button again. So this is it from this game. I will share its recording with you. The lesson is about to be over. If you have any questions, you can send those questions to me in the WhatsApp group. Okay. I'm really sorry that we got a little late and I will not be able to take your questions right now, but you can send your questions in the WhatsApp group. I will answer them there. I will share this recording so that you can make this game on your own. Thank you so much for